The story of a nation can often be found in the small, everyday objects its people leave behind. In Qatar, a land shaped by the sea and the desert, this story is etched into metal. Long before the gleaming towers of Doha pierced the sky, the sands of this peninsula witnessed the comings and goings of empires, traders and warriors, and with them, they brought their money. The earliest whispers of coinage here are faint but fascinating. We find coins from ancient Greece from the Seleucid Empire which tell a tale of long-distance trade routes crisscrossing the Arabian Gulf. These weren't Qatari coins, of course, but they were used here, handled by the early inhabitants of this land, a testament to Qatar's ancient role as a connection point between different worlds. Imagine a time centuries ago, when these small pieces of silver and bronze were the most valuable things a person might carry. Each coin was a link to a powerful ruler, a distant city, a world of commerce and conquest far beyond the horizon. The discovery of these ancient currencies on Qatari soil paints a picture of a coastline that was anything but isolated. It was a place where goods, ideas, and people met. These early coins are like messages from the past, reminding us that the story of Qatar as a global hub is not a new one. Its roots run deep, back into the mists of antiquity, where the jingle of foreign money was the soundtrack of daily life along the shores. One of the most powerful and evocative names from this early period is that of Qatari ibn al-Fuja'a. He was a leader, a poet, and a warrior who lived in the 7th century. His story is one of rebellion and strength, and incredibly, he struck his own coins. These coins, known as Arab Sasanian dirhams, are among the very first to be associated with a figure from the region. Finding one of these is like finding a piece of a legend. They were based on the designs of the Sasanian Empire but were modified, with Arabic inscriptions added. They declared a new power, a new authority in the land. They are a physical link to a charismatic leader whose name, by pure coincidence, echoes the name of the country itself. These early coins weren't just for buying and selling, they were powerful symbols of identity and sovereignty. For Qatari ibn al-Fuja'a to mint his own currency was a bold statement. It said, "This land has its own leader, its own power." These pieces of silver, hammered by hand, carry the weight of that declaration. They are incredibly rare, treasured by collectors and historians alike. They represent a pivotal moment, a time when the people of this region began to forge their own destiny, distinct from the great empires that surrounded them. They are the first chapter in the long and fascinating story of money in Qatar, a story of independence and pride. As the centuries rolled on, the Islamic world blossomed, and with it came a great wave of trade and cultural exchange. Qatar, with its strategic position along the busy sea lanes of the Gulf, found itself right in the middle of it all. Merchants' dhows, with their distinctive lateen sails, would have crowded its shores, their hulls filled with spices from India, silks from China, and pearls from the Gulf's own waters. And in the bustling souks and coastal settlements, a vibrant mix of currencies would have changed hands. The powerful Islamic empires of the time, like the Umayyads and the Abbasids, produced beautiful gold dinars and silver dirhams that became the international currency of their day. These coins were a common sight in Qatar. They were trusted, their weight and purity guaranteed by the authority of the caliph. A fisherman selling his catch, a pearl diver trading his precious finds, or a merchant stocking his shop, all would have dealt in these currencies. The land was a melting pot of money. Alongside the Abbasid dinars, one might have found coins from Persia, from the Ottoman Empire, and from other regional powers. Each coin told a story of where it had been, the hands it had passed through, and the economic tides that had carried it to Qatar's shores. This was the reality of a trading hub. Your pocket could hold a dozen different histories. The influence of the Ottoman Empire, which held sway over parts of the region for centuries, also left its mark on the currency in circulation. Ottoman coins, with their intricate calligraphy, and the Sultan's tufra, a special calligraphic signature, would have been used for transactions, especially for paying taxes or in official dealings. However, day-to-day life was often simpler. For many small purchases, a barter system might still have been used, trading goods for goods. But for larger trades, especially those involving the all-important pearl industry, a reliable and widely accepted currency was essential. The jingle of these foreign coins was the sound of business and survival. This period highlights a crucial aspect of Qatar's economic history, its reliance on external systems. The country did not have its own official currency. Instead, it adapted, using whatever was stable and available. This was a practical solution for a place that thrived on international connections. The people of Qatar became skilled at navigating this complex world of different coins, weights, and values. It was a skill born of necessity, a reflection of a society that was open, adaptable, and deeply integrated into the wider economic web of the region. The money in their hands was a map of their world. As the world moved into the 19th and 20th centuries, a new power began to dominate the sea lanes of the Gulf. Great Britain. With British influence came British trade, and with that trade came the currency of British India, the Indian rupee. The rupee, a solid silver coin bearing the portrait of the British monarch, became the dominant currency, not just in Qatar, but across much of the Gulf. It was stable, plentiful, and backed by the formidable economic might of the British Empire. For the merchants and people of Qatar, it offered a level of predictability that the mix of older coins could not. The use of the Indian rupee was a practical arrangement that lasted for decades. It simplified trade and connected the Gulf's economy even more tightly to the wider world, particularly to the bustling ports of the Indian subcontinent. But in 1959, a special version of the rupee was created specifically for use in the Gulf. This was the Gulf Rupee. It looked almost identical to the Indian rupee, but it was a different color and had a special serial number. The reason for this change was to stop gold smugglers from taking Indian rupees out of India, which was damaging the Indian economy. The Gulf Rupee was a separate currency, intended only for circulation in the Gulf states. This system worked well for a number of years. The Gulf Rupee was the money people in Qatar used to buy food, to pay for services, and to conduct all their business. It was a familiar part of life, but the winds of change were blowing across the region. Nations were moving towards independence, seeking to take control of their own affairs. In 1966, a major event shook the financial stability of the region. India devalued the rupee. This meant that overnight, the Gulf Rupee lost a significant amount of its value. For the people and governments of the Gulf, this was a disaster. Their savings and their wealth were slashed without any warning. This crisis was a powerful wake-up call. It drove home the dangers of relying on another country's currency. The leaders of the Gulf realized that to be truly independent, they needed to have control over their own money. The devaluation of 1966 was the final push that led Qatar and its neighbors to abandon the Gulf Rupee and take the momentous step of creating their own independent currencies. It was the end of one era and the dramatic beginning of another. The age of using foreign money was coming to an end. The age of Qatari money was about to dawn. The currency crisis of 1966 demanded swift action. Qatar, along with its neighbor Dubai, decided to act together. They were facing the same problem, and they found a common solution. This led to the creation of the Qatar and Dubai Rial. It was a historic moment, the first time that a currency bore the name of Qatar. This joint currency was a symbol of regional cooperation and a bold step towards economic independence. On September 21, 1966, the new coins and banknotes were introduced, replacing the now devalued Gulf Rupee. For the first time, people in Qatar could hold in their hands a currency that was truly their own. The design of these first coins was simple yet elegant. The denominations were 1, 5, 10, 25, and 50 dirhams. One side of the coins featured a graceful gazelle, an animal that symbolizes the natural heritage and beauty of the Arabian desert. The gazelle was surrounded by the names Qatar and Dubai written in Arabic script, along with the date. On the other side was the value of the coin, also written in Arabic. The coins were practical, easy to recognize, and most importantly, they represented a shared identity and a shared future for the two states. They were a physical manifestation of a new era of self-reliance. This currency partnership was a practical arrangement born out of a shared need. At the time, the Trucial States, the forerunner of the United Arab Emirates, were still forming, and Dubai had not yet joined. By partnering with Qatar, Dubai was able to quickly establish a stable new currency for its people. The Qatar and Dubai Currency Board was established to manage the new rial, ensuring its stability and overseeing its production. The partnership worked smoothly for several years, providing a reliable monetary system for the growing economies of both Qatar and Dubai. However, partnerships, like all things, can change. The political landscape of the Gulf was evolving rapidly. In 1971, the United Arab Emirates was formed, and Dubai decided to join this new federation. As a member of the UAE, it made sense for Dubai to adopt the new UAE dirham along with the other Emirates. This led to the end of the currency union with Qatar. In 1973, the agreement was dissolved and the Qatar and Dubai Riyal was withdrawn from circulation. This short-lived but crucial chapter was over, paving the way for Qatar to take the final step and issue a currency all of its own. The year 1973 was, honestly, a landmark year for Qatar. The country had already declared its independence in 1971, and now it was time for its money to reflect that full sovereignty. With the dissolution of the currency union with Dubai, the path was clear. The Qatar Monetary Agency, which was the forerunner to today's Qatar Central Bank, was established. Its first and most important task was to issue a new, uniquely Qatari currency. On May 19, 1973, the first series of the Qatari Riyal was introduced. This was not a shared currency, it was the money of a proud and independent nation. The name Dubai was removed, and the coins now belong to Qatar and Qatar alone. The designs of these first truly Qatari coins built upon the familiar foundation of the previous series. The denominations remained the same: 1, 5, 10, 25, and 50 dirhams. The coins kept the elegant image of the dhow, a symbol of Qatar's seafaring heritage and its history of pearling and trade. However, the other side was changed to proudly display the coat of arms of Qatar. This powerful emblem features two crossed scimitars, a dhow sailing on waves, and two palm trees. This design was a powerful statement of national identity, bringing together symbols of tradition, strength, and prosperity. These coins were more than just pieces of metal for buying goods. They were a daily reminder to the people of Qatar of their nation's independence and identity. Every time a person made a purchase, they were handling a small piece of their country's sovereignty. The coins were minted in bronze for the lower values, 1 and 5 dirhams, and in a copper-nickel alloy for the higher values, 10, 25, and 50 dirhams. This made them durable and practical for everyday use. The introduction of this new series was a smooth transition, as people were already familiar with the sizes and shapes of the coins. The 1973 series laid the foundation for all Qatari coinage that would follow. It established the core designs and symbols that would represent the nation's currency for decades to come: the palm trees and the dhow, the crossed swords. These images became synonymous with the Qatari Riyal. The Qatar Monetary Agency successfully managed the currency, ensuring its value and stability, which was crucial for the country's rapidly growing economy, fueled by its vast natural gas reserves. This first series of Qatari coins was a declaration in metal. Qatar was here, it was independent, and it was forging its own path. As Qatar continued to grow and modernize through the late 20th and early 21st centuries, its currency evolved alongside it. The basic designs established in 1973 proved to be timeless, but there were subtle changes and new series introduced to keep the coinage up to date. The materials used to make the coins were improved. For example, the 1 and 5 dirham coins, originally made of bronze, were later struck in copper-plated steel. This made them cheaper to produce while still being durable. The higher denomination coins, the 10, 25, and 50 dirhams, continued to be made from a hard-wearing copper-nickel alloy. The design of the coins remained remarkably consistent, which is really a testament to the power of the original symbols. The coat of arms of Qatar, with its swords, sea, and palm trees, continued to be the main feature on one side of most coins. This emblem is a constant reminder of the nation's heritage and strength. On the other side, the value of the coin is displayed clearly in both Arabic script and numerals, making it easy for everyone to use. The date of minting, in both the Islamic or Hijri and Gregorian calendars, is also included, anchoring each coin to a specific moment in the nation's history. One of the most interesting developments in the modern series has been the introduction of new security features and minting techniques. While coin counterfeiting is less common than with banknotes, modern mints use incredibly precise methods to create coins that are difficult to fake. The edges of the coins, for example, have different finishes. Some are smooth, while others have reading, those small grooves. These details, along with the high quality of the strike, ensure that the coins are authentic. The consistency of the design and quality of the coins helps to build public trust in the currency. Over the years, several series of coins have been issued, often when a new monarch ascends to the throne or to update the design slightly. While the core elements remain, you might notice small differences in the font or the fineness of the details if you compare a coin from the 1970s with one from the 2010s. These modern coins are a constant, reliable presence in the life of the country. They are used every day in shops, vending machines, and markets. They are the small change of a nation that has undergone a huge transformation, yet they carry with them the same symbols of identity that were chosen half a century ago. While the coins used every day are designed for practicality, nations also use money to celebrate special moments in their history. These are called commemorative coins. They are special editions, often made with precious metals like gold or silver, and are created to mark a significant event, anniversary, or achievement. Qatar has a rich tradition of issuing such coins, creating beautiful metallic souvenirs that capture a moment in time. These coins are not usually meant for circulation. They are collector's items, treasured for their beauty, rarity, and the story they tell about the nation's journey. One of the most spectacular examples of this is the series of coins minted to celebrate the FIFA World Cup 2022. Hosting this global event was a moment of immense national pride for Qatar, and the Qatar Central Bank marked the occasion by issuing a stunning collection of commemorative coins and banknotes. These were not just ordinary coins, they were works of art, meticulously designed to capture the excitement and spirit of the tournament. The designs featured the official World Cup logo, the gleaming tournament trophy, and images of the magnificent new stadiums that had been built for the event, such as Lusail Stadium and Al Bayt Stadium. These World Cup coins were issued in various metals, including gold and silver, appealing to both serious coin collectors and football fans around the world. They served as a global announcement, a way of sharing Qatar's pride with an international audience. Each coin was a miniature billboard, celebrating the country's ability to host such a massive and complex event. The release of these coins in the lead-up to the tournament helped to build excitement and created lasting keepsakes that people could hold on to long after the final whistle had blown. They are a physical legacy of a historic moment. Beyond the World Cup, Qatar has issued commemorative coins for many other important occasions. These include anniversaries of the country's national day, the accession of a new emir, and milestones in the development of its industries, like the gas sector. Each of these coins tells a small part of the Qatari story. They are a way for the nation to honor its past, celebrate its present, and look forward to its future. For collectors, these coins are a window into the country's soul. Each one a beautifully crafted piece of history, marking the moments that have shaped the modern nation of Qatar. Have you ever wondered where coins actually come from? They don't just appear out of thin air. They are manufactured in highly specialized factories called mints. These facilities use powerful machinery and skilled technicians to turn blank discs of metal into the money we use every day. Since Qatar does not have its own national mint, it has always relied on the expertise of established mints in other countries to produce its currency. Over the years, several different mints have had the honor of striking coins for Qatar, and each has brought its own high standards of quality and craftsmanship to the task. One of the most important mints in Qatar's story is the British Royal Mint. Located in Llantrisant, Wales, the Royal Mint is one of the oldest and most respected mints in the world, with over 1,000 years of experience. It was responsible for striking the very first Qatar and Dubai coins back in 1966. It also produced the first independent Qatari Rial series in 1973, and has continued to mint many of Qatar's coins in the decades since. The Llantrisant mint mark, a small symbol identifying the mint, can be found on some of these coins, a tiny link to their Welsh origins. Another key partner in the production of Qatari coins has been the Monnaie de Paris, or the Paris Mint, in France. This is another institution with a very long and distinguished history. The Monnaie de Paris is known for its artistic excellence and has produced some of Qatar's commemorative coins, where the quality of the design and the finish is especially important. The French Mint's expertise in creating beautiful metal-like coins makes it a natural choice for these special issues that celebrate the nation's culture and achievements. More recently, Qatar has also worked with other mints, such as the private mint MDM Münzhandelsgesellschaft MBH, and company KG Deutsche Münze in Germany. This flexibility allows Qatar to choose the best partner for each specific job, whether it's producing millions of circulation coins or a limited edition of collector's items. By working with these world-class facilities, The Qatar Central Bank ensures that the nation's currency is always produced to the highest international standards of quality, security, and durability. These mints are the unseen hands that have helped to shape a vital part of Qatar's national identity. The story of Qatar's coinage is a journey that mirrors the nation's own incredible transformation. It begins in the distant past with the earliest coins being rough, hand-hammered pieces of silver. Think of the Arab Sasanian dirhams of Qatari ibn al-Fuja'a. Each one was made by placing a blank piece of metal between two engraved blocks called dies, and striking the top one with a heavy hammer. This process was slow and laborious. No two coins were ever exactly the same. They were thick, often irregular in shape, and the designs were simple but bold. This was the technology of the ancient and medieval world. For centuries, this was how money was made. As time went on, the process became more refined, but the basic principle of striking metal by force remained. When we moved to the first modern coins of Qatar, the Qatar and Dubai series of 1966, the technology had taken a giant leap forward. These coins were not made by hand with a hammer. They were produced by powerful, mechanized coining presses in a modern factory. These machines could strike coins with immense force and incredible precision, ensuring that every single coin was identical in size, weight, and design. This uniformity is the hallmark of modern currency. The technology has only continued to advance. Today, the process of making a coin is a marriage of art and high-tech engineering. It starts with a digital design created on a computer. This digital file is then used to engrave the steel dies with microscopic precision, using lasers or computer-controlled cutting tools. The blank metal discs, called planchets, are punched out from huge sheets of metal, cleaned and polished. Then they are fed into a fully automated coining press, which can strike hundreds of coins per minute. Each coin is stamped with its design on both sides, and its edges formed, all in a fraction of a second. From a craftsman with a hammer to a computer-guided laser, the change has been profound. The earliest coins were a testament to human skill and strength. The latest, like the commemorative World Cup issues, are a product of digital precision and industrial power. The first national coin was the Qatar and Dubai 1 dirham of 1966, a symbol of a new era. The latest issue continues this legacy, with the 2022 World Cup coins representing Qatar's place on the modern world stage. This evolution in technology tells a story of progress, reflecting Qatar's own journey from a land of ancient traditions to a leader in the